It's you again. What is it?
You see...
Excuse me, officer.
She's right. Those curtains give off some eerie vibes. Better not mess with it. Just as you're about to pull...
Sir, don't touch that. Parapsycho...
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No! Please just talk to me, officer.
Lies. There is something mysterious. You see a tattered set of curtains and a polyhedron. You see a
I warned you. You're unleashing forces beyond...
A heavy door with a missing handle. What if you just break it down? That's right. Take steady breathing. The room is dimly lit and it's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable. You smash into the wood and see a small...
You're not thinking of trying again, are you? What is this place? No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations.
Barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what... There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber. The squeaky sound of sneakers. Your bruised knee. It's just a memory from another life. When you were young...
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast. Just an old man with bad form.
Proper weightlifting gloves would definitely afford a better grip.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in script. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of Welkins. Translucent Welkins, with organs shining under them. Who are all those creatures? Fantasy, one of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. The Haldor, the Tworg,
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. Just look at those...
And for what? The photo collage depicts barren, icy... Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. You see primitive oil rigs built into, albeit dark and cold, a pinned postcard This is so much pain. Back pain. Minimi stands for as time...
Looks like they...
A note in the bottom. Your flashlight, some of the writing, the handwriting is only partly legible. But outside, a dusty radio computer.
Another radio computer.
This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5.
It's your call.
The machine lights up like it's empty, like the filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides, the speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good.
You should ask her for a hint.
No.
A hint system.
Still no. I am
I'm afraid we are not doing...
Now, can you please... Received. I will register...
Don't worry. Passwords...
Fortress accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Nothing happens. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Tiles on the cube. Nothing. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over a diagram for summoning some time forgotten. This old diagram, radio frequencies, it's unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. You think so? The web is comprised, looks like a surveillance. They must have had massive airwidth. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air game built by whoever decides to call in to all of this is gone. There's no way a little basement studio working.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just...
Okay. What do you think is going on? No, that's not it.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these...
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, but I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game through call-in station. Then there's the game...
His fast coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people.
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love. No idea. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... Yes, especially in here. Okay, let's keep moving.
You see a terrifying... This ice bear is a hyper carnivore. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? The lieutenant doesn't answer. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear it. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers. You pocket the note, and the little a friendly cartoon bear smiles.
Good question. I know. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with... The note is written.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best. Someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed. I don't know.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark.
Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. There is, yes. And there also...
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away. Most of them take it. You're a police...
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are...
He likes this find. A few bricks have fallen off.
Seems like an old bunker. Seems like an old bunker.
A few bricks have fallen.
It means there are...
He likes this find. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying. It's all gone now. What better to assuage? You slip? No. If you want to try. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft...
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brow. thick layer of coal dust. Looks like this furnace has a face. And
Looks like it. No one has used it in ages.
it's dark.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
A lush layer of coal. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient 3D.
What are you doing? Please wipe your face clean, officer.
These 3 stripes give you strength in this danger.
And this protects you. Okay, sure. Go ahead.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
The lights are so pretty when it gets dark.
You broke down the back door. I suppose it's all over now. Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area.
Her facade has dropped. Now you see the curiosity.
But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the shape of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she knows more about the curse than she lets on ever since I first saw her. Yes, some unnatural magic, I assume.
If you're really interested in cracking this...
Despite his cool, the lieutenant's interested in solving this mystery, too.
A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs. Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the curse. Is so much worse than you could imagine. It's the curse of financial distress.
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just there's something
Sounds familiar.
truly.
The woman before you. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same crime fiction. What's not a single mention of all the stress this work creates. You see, a killing is declared. Shelves fill to the... A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover. Its beak slight. Turns out you don't have behavioral...
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
You wait is quite a challenge, but eventually the guy...
What have you found? And also,
a cockatoo. This book talks about where to even begin. All cockatoos are known for their pet owners, or it is not recommended. You're right. Ouch. This... Ooh. Perhaps, in the words of poet explorer, despite its banging name, the Bang Bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right. You're the mediocrity in... This orange machine is dead. You slip? No. If you want to try again, then you turning the... It's all gone. What better to assuage the creeping sense of... You slip? No. If you want to try again, then you... A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring something.
Hello?
You've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor.
You hear a low...
After you, officer.
Tiles on the cube are stiff like a smooth draw. The film, the speaker.
Good evening. Please repeat. Is this thank you?
Tiles on the cube. The filament slide.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with... She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you. No, I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yeah?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set. Take a look around.
This person means you or no one else. Absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly.
Nothing really.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity. The lieutenant looks at his notebook.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard.
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about.
She's not sorry to disappoint you, informing on someone in a murder investigation.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. I might have, but in this case, it's really hard to make anything. It's an odd profession.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? How did I Some of my friends were rope, not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers?
She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? Yes, you definitely have the proper attitude.
Pieces of lodestone were used as the first magnet. That's a stone for leader.
10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours. Great, see you in 8 hours then. Was there any? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney.
Creative.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly.
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse.
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you.
So I'm the Grand Dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim? Ethereal? Thank you, but I think it's just the lighting.
No, it's the troubled color of her energetic vibrations.
Of course you do. Show me a person in Martinez who doesn't have any tragedies in their past if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse.
Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of this.
More or less.
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms, under the abandoned blow-dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
Yes, I think it was called androgynous or...
You wouldn't like it either. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
I guess it wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer athletes. A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had... Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh, you mean the kid with the same... I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't.
You should have known.
Eventually, the coalition took away the... Oh, this one's a mess. Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing...
What's the snuff? Trust me, you don't want to know.
And they never cleaned up the debris either. It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
What does she mean? To
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did.
But what drugs exactly?
Anything else? There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten. Yeah, and naturally. Oh, really? Anyway.
Poor guy. Suddenly, you get a feeling that insects are important to the case somehow. It's hard to say why.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. They certainly took their work very serious. The usual. Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. Yes, in the end
She's right. Showing up to work on time. Showing up to work on time is hard.
And so is producing
Something strains her face before she...
Anything else? They were made. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. The usual, I imagine.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, I have no idea why.
Maybe you could make a sword out of...
Oh boy, the place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about that was really and by...
Sounds like she really... Fritter does the same thing.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread, and they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream. Eventually, Ravishell Ice City lost the price war to its rival. Maybe. He said that the bear was
scary, but cool.
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. Oh, anything else? Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells were...
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
That's right. You could say so.
If the whirling is part...
Yes.
You know.
My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography... I don't know this guard, but something tells me he won't. It can't be... Are you sure it was Slipstream, Messi? Oh right, Tricentennial. It used to be...
No. Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
Oh, the kids these days. We were just... Why would Slipstream SCA have a 100-year-old... I'm still convinced it was nothing more than some elaborate prank.
My money is on electrical anomaly.
Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What do you want to know? Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Excuse me, what?
Officer!
Oh no, not the zipper.
A tool to get the zipper.
No, I don't feel hot. We're in a derelict smokestack. If anything, then it's cold here. And why would you do that? And what technique is that?
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior.
Officer, this isn't how mature...
Now you feel something. The cold damp of shame washing over you.
The air pressure told you to take your pants off in my studio. Can you please employ this special technique somewhere else? I work here and I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarifies. Oh, it's you again.
Hey, was there something you needed?
The porteria is just what you needed.
It's you again. What is it?
It's getting cold this late in the night.
Good night, officer.
Hey, was there...
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation. Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer. Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
Oh, that? Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Yes, it was very cool. Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it. No problem, sir. Sure. The record. So official.
The lieutenant's door is no response. Still, where is he? Doesn't he want to go for a little drive? Anything to not face the hanged disco man yet. You hear the sound of a drawer closing, followed by...
Yes, what is it? What time is it? To clear our head.
Sleep is what he needs.
Good night, Harry.
Hey, was there...
It's getting cold. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with... Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place, somewhere. The bed is comforting. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh...
How have things been going for you out there? Helped any? Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. It's much, much worse than that.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just...
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage.
In hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment when you...
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church. There's some tear. An empty cigarette pack. Two. No.
A trash.
He shakes. The mother of humanism stands above you. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the unknown. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen, small figures of wise men. Below both women, and then after life, death, after death.
Death, life again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was deemed justice, union, prudence, and force. Eyes cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you. Oh. The mother of The machine's keyboard is the speak.
Good morning, Fortress. I have two machines registered to this company name in Martinez.
Saint-Brune, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Guylaine, that's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? Good.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. I'm afraid we are not...
No. Can you proceed? Votre accident is goodbye.
The machine's keyboard. Nothing happens. The mother of humanism stands up. You see a slogan.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning? Sure. What's on your mind? But of course, I do have...
He's not gonna give...
Of course, Detective. I don't know if you... If not, then you definitely I do so.
Low Mantang stick fighting is a...
Actually, a great many cultures...
You doze off.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying? Lomantangst.
Wait, what does this man...
You got me.
Here's a former...
Dad's fighting.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a...
Hello again.
The large-headed youth has...
Good morning, Tycoon! Lungs of capital! Hi again. So, how are things going?
Okay, the gist plus, it still feels as if this...
As always,
The portal reel is just... You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. Then, telling you, within a click. Then sign. Of course you... Yeah. And the beast guards. The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the...
Hello again.
وكان the
Whoa. In your hand. What a funny little cap. Don't let the scary medical warnings throw you off. It's an inadequate The container is warm to the touch. Or is that just the anticipation? You suck a minuscule drop of extremely chemical-smelling liquid. It tastes like many things, all melting into one conflagration in the back of your throat. Not this warmth. It makes you want to share your discovery with Kim.
I'm happy for you.
His glasses turn golden as the fire reflects off the lenses. Just don't mix it with anything, he thinks, looking you over. Thankfully, his sense of balance seems okay. Wow, Kim's badass. Or he's had a druggie partner. Whoa, that's probably it. He's seen it before. Look at all these guys go off like fireworks as information pours into you about the lieutenant's simple remark. I'm happy for you. This stuff is great. Why not? Please don't actually operate any fire machines. Already you can tell you're going to be sloping A if you can keep the vomit in.
Hey, was there something you need? No, you don't.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge.
The whirling doesn't need more sad style. That's one of the styles it can do without right now. It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of... Okay, yes. It's... Ha! Well...
The man in... This is the look of a man.
Fine, fine.
I'm having it... Oh, yeah. Time to...
Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting... Hey, was there something...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for an... Excellent. That will be 10 real for one set of magnetic dice. I don't do orders. Excellent. This was an especially fun...
Dazzling. It's like you have a pair of tiny disco balls in your hand. The worn and beaten wooden...
We can sit on bench.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow.
Hell, most likely. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for no. Guess he was about to head home. Cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the. Sometimes, I repeat, an absolute cunt. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that. Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo. Yes, we are both very sorry.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79... I just don't know anymore. About... Yes? What about René? Yes.
He finds comfort in...
We all got to go some...
We are both very...
It is what I just don't know any... Oh, sorry.
Host almighty. He's a total bummer now.
Hello, Wandering Man.
Your race descent has temporarily halted.
Yes?
The already familiar code. This is generally speaking.
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though. Fantastic.
Wow, this jacket makes you feel strong, as if your blood is mixing with that of the venerable Philippian loyalists. Apologies, you're right. It's time to clean up the streets and restore the...
Mr. Dubois, why on earth are you dressed like my recently deceased security guard? From where I'm sitting, it looks more like you've robbed. Oh, I know, and the word on the street is your memory. I assure my big.
It's just that
Are you trying to...
Mr. K.
asking to don't just jump to the folder. That's
But of course, family. Harry. Well, yes. Oh, Harry. As do we all.
he's probably just making a guess based on your recent.
I find...
I'm afraid this is meant for Union.
As you look at the folder,
Okay, Harry.
He got the...
Yes, yes.
that means a pity.
Yes, that's what I said. Mr. Dubois,